Hey guys, my name is Manuel with Dirt Cinema, and my twin brother behind the camera is Johnny.
Oh, I almost dropped it.
This is our 94 Ford Bronco. We did an LS swap for LS Fest with Holley, and we use the Terminator X system, so it controls the motor and the tranny. So it's LQ4 out of like a 2006 Suburban 2500, and a 4L80 transmission, so it's still electronic transmission, and then a 241C transfer case, so it's a manual shift transfer case out of like a 80 or a 98 2500 Suburban. So it's kind of like an older thing. We found one for $50 on Craigslist, pretty cheap buy. Bolts right into the 4L80, all the same splines, everything like that. So that was pretty simple. Still slip yoke in the back, so we used a drive shaft we had laying around from our old pre-owner right here. Really won't show it, but it'll get done one day. I'll show you what we did. So we did a mid-ram intake from Holley. Basically all the parts on this is Holley, besides like the alternator bracket we found on Amazon, but just did like an eBay special intake on it, but that's not Holley as well. We just threw a sticker on it to make it look kind of cool, and then it fell off and then it got stuck in the fan, but we'll just not talk about that. So if you see this tube, I'll show you what exactly all the tubing and stuff's for too. But so the Holley intake ram, it's a mid-ram, and then we have fuel rails. I'll put some parts and all the description of what parts we use for it. We made our own engine mounts. We used a Solo Motorsports factory Ford. It's like a single bolt that goes into the frame, and basically I just had a plate that bolts to the side of the motor and had two tabs going off of that, and then just a straight two bolts going that way. I'll show you more video of that too, but super simple. The motor dropped in, it was almost smaller than, I think it is smaller than a 5 liter because the truck had a 5 liter in it, but the engine control system, like the computer and stuff, was really faulty. We went through like 2 different computers, tried to find new ones, and it was just not running right. That's why we yanked the motor out of it. The truck isn't super special, it's just a Ford. It was from a tow yard, so like a tow truck guy had a lien sale on it, so he sold it to me. It had a little bit of damage on the passenger side, like a tire blew out or something. But so we got it for like $1,000, but definitely a lot more money into it now. So we have 30-pound Holley injectors, the mid-ram, and then a Terminator X system. So we threw a fan off a Ford Taurus we picked up at the junkyard for $20. The water pump's a LS3 water pump, so it goes straight out, which makes it easier, so we could run all our hosing for the radiator, all that. The radiator is factory radiator out of the Bronco. We just left that in there, and we ran the trans lines right to the stock radiator too. So we put on the driver's side, the alternator is pushed over a little bit because the intake goes down. It's for like a car. This motor is out of a truck, but we used an ICT or billet ICT bracket for the alternator and the power steering, and it just pushes it off the side and gets it out of the way. And then we don't have the AC in it right now. We are working on that. There'll be in another video, and that's basically about it for the accessories. The fuel pumps, factory Ford fuel pump. We didn't even touch the fuel pump. We just wired it into the EFI system. The starter, we just wired a new key switch for the starter and power, and that's basically it. It was a super simple swap. We needed to do drive shaft and front drive shaft out of we had a spare one out of 89 Eddie Bauer with electronic shift transfer case, so that one was a little bit longer or shorter. I don't know which one it was, but that bolted right in. And then we do have a nitrous plate on it. We're not going to really want to use nitrous. We were going to do it for LSS, but we couldn't get it on in time, so we're going to probably take that off to keep this truck more low-key. Other than that, the motor's stock. We have like some tuning on it from the Terminator kit, so we have like 2-step and stuff to make it sound cool and Carolina style, I guess. The trans mount I made I just plasma cut some plates on the side and ran a tube straight across and made a bracket to make the trans mount. All the suspension on the truck is Solo Motorsports, so we did 4.5-inch over beams on the front with King coilovers. We just extended the steering, still 4-wheel drive. I don't have the front drive shaft in it right now because we sprang a leak in the front diff somehow, but we needed to pull that apart and put a new seal in it, so we didn't want to run 4-wheel drive at all. This is last weekend at Terra Takeover, so we didn't run the 4-wheel drive because it was leaking all the diff fluid out. We did some brake lines, we just extended them. The rear end is a 8.8 that we got from the junkyard because we blew the first one up because we did too many burnouts. And I'll cut to that video. So on the rear we did a Q80 pack from Motorsports, which is Beaver makes it for Solo. Shocks under the bed, 12-inch King smooth bodies with the shock tower from Motorsports, which is all bolt-on, super easy. And their shackle kit in the rear, so we get way more droop. The front and rear should be about 17. I didn't measure it, but it's pretty similar to what our other Bronco used to be. So on the front end we did a McNeil 3-inch fiberglass, and the rear I believe it's either 2.5 or 3 inches. I don't remember, but old McNeil fiberglass. The tires are Canati Mud Hogs 35-inch, and we ran the stock Alcoas to keep it like the cool old school style look, and ran the stock bumper to keep that kind of old school pre-owner look. The tires are Canati Mud Hogs 35-inch, and we ran the stock Alcoas to keep it like the cool old school style look, and ran the stock bumper to keep that kind of old school pre-owner look. For the interior, we did a custom beard seat with brown, black, and red piping on it to make it look kind of fancy, I guess. And then I mounted a R-car shifter. I just made a quick mount for LSS so we could get it going for there. We built the truck. The initial first build stage was about 30 days. Get the motor in, get it driving, and take it to Vegas to do burnouts. And that's basically all we did at LSS. That's our walk around on the Bronco. We'll be uploading more videos like this, and we're going to be installing a mid-mount for our water pump, AC, alternator, power steering, and has our all the tensioner pulleys and all that stuff on it. So gets everything all tucked in super nice and clean, and it all mounts off the water pump, which is super convenient and easy to use, and has like a super damper, harmonic balancer and all that stuff. Super fancy, probably too fancy for our Bronco, but it's going to make it look a lot cleaner and work a lot better.